Headline news, commentary, and entertainment from a decidedly conservative Latino perspective. Hello and welcome. You're listening to the Friday edition of the Chips and Salsa Show. Today is July 29th, 2016. My name is Martin Gonzalez, and joining me in the studio, we lovingly refer to as El Molcajete, is the only woman who makes any sense in radio, America's Oracle, Alada Colada, Alice Lada.
Wow. Muchas gracias. Guacan on here, Mr. Martin.
How are you doing today? Good?
Very wonderful. Thank you. Last week I couldn't make it here, so I'm very happy to be back.
That's why I gave you an extra dose of introduction, because we missed you last week.
I love it. It's like, it just gets me going, man.
And George is here too, ladies and gentlemen. With all due respect, Don Jorge Ortiz.
El Alacran,
The Scorpion King.
the dude from the barrio, and freshly from the Republican National Convention.
George brought us these cool pins, Alice, that you're wearing. I have them in my pocket, but one of them, George, says it's like a car, like a Corvette. And it says RNC 2016 Cleveland. Thank you for that one. And the other one, there's a story about this one. This one became like the most treasured thing, and it's a pin, and it has the GOP, and it has the shape of the state of Arizona in its outline, but it looks really nice. It says 2016 National Convention.
It's solid
Tell
copper.
me the story.
It's solid copper, and the copper mine is the same one that made the torch for the Statue of Liberty. It's the same.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's the same copper mine, and they're the ones that made the pins for Arizona, and those were prize pins over there. You could ask my friend here, Tim Horn, who's here as one of the guests. You'll be hearing from him later. And
So we're going to talk about the convention a little bit?
yeah, we'll talk a few. We had a few things going on over there.
Sounds good. Well, we have a very special show for you tonight, and we would like you to be a part of it. So please call 602-277-KFNX. That's 602-277-5369. Call in, please, with the cherry on top.
Call in and remember you can win Rosita's $50 gift certificate. Woo!
Now, we had dinner at Rosita's last night. You had your usual.
A beef taco and some beans on the side, and my wonderful hot salsa, my favorite, almost New Mexico style.
And George, you
I
had
had a beef burrito with rice and frijoles,
and
it was to die for.
You need to talk about your special margarita.
Yes.
I ordered a margarita because at Rosita's, they have a Pokemon thing going on over there where
very cool.
You could probably find one of the Pokemons if you go in there with your little iPhone or whatever they do to find Pokemon. And my margarita had a Pokemon right in the middle of it. And if you go to Rosita's, you see the big sign outside that says Pokemon could be found in here, and it's you can order margaritas and stuff.
And you had one.
I had one. It was delicious. Oh.
And you can get a virgin one. So if the little kid, if you take your little kids in there,
and the kids can get one without alcohol. It's just called a virgin margarita. Gives them they see their parents with the margarita. They want one too.
You don't want to be left out.
Yeah. So.
Speaking of not being left out, I heard this rumor that at Rosita's it is a lure. So those of you that play Pokemon, you may want to take a little trip over there. I'm just saying it's a rumor. That's what can you do?
Don't believe them.
We have in the studio Jana Jackson. She is a candidate for Maricopa County School Superintendent. And tonight she will be talking about local education. And we have Tim Horn. Tim Horn, he is the author of Ruling the Elite, Moving Power from the Parties to the People. How can you disagree with that? So we are going to have a great show for you. But Alice, in the news, what do you got?
In the news. All right, well, of course.
Mine's a little different than yours. Mine's a little... Mine's, and yours is more like a 1940s newsreel kind of...
That's interesting. We can go on to the national news, but first I want to remind everybody out there locally, we had, right before we went on the air, there is a severe dust storm alert here in the area. It's on until 9 p.m. So
did your phone blow up too?
Yeah,
beep,
beep-a-dee.
Yeah.
Talking about the beep-a-dee-beeps, yeah.
Oh my goodness!
So,
So,
if you're out
I
there.
was just out there, eyewitness weather with Martin Gonzalez. I was just
Former
out there.
weatherman.
Yes,
Yes.
Channel 3. The night sky is lit up, literally. It's amazing to see all the lightning.
Oh my god. Oops.
Oh.
Is that it again?
Is that it again? See, there we go.
Right on cue.
Here we are with news up to the minute.
But you know, that's one of the kind of cool things about radio. Our art is changing always, but we'll always have a need to know what's going on locally.
What else is happening
we
locally?
Stay out safe out there.
Anything else locally or nationally or what?
Locally, there probably is, but I know nationally, you know, we just finished the DNC. I watched a little part of it. Hilarity. That's what I'm going to say. Hilarity.
Hilarity?
Hilarity with Hilarity.
It was so good that Bill Clinton fell asleep.
Yeah, I saw that. I think we posted that. Man, and just go to our Facebook site, Chips and Salsa Show Facebook site. We try to keep you up with all the cool stories of the day. Also, unfortunately, we did have another shooting in San Diego.
No.
Police officer down. And it looks like, you know what's interesting, though? It was kind of not a Black Lives Matter deal, but a Latino on Latino Lives Matter. Officer Jonathan...
So Latino on Latino crime is what you're
Sounds
saying.
like it, yeah.
Oh,
Officer
boy.
Jonathan de Guzman, and they had a officer that was wounded, Wade Irwin, but it was Jesse Michael Gomez. He has admitted to the crime, and it looks like the officers were in a gang unit, and this guy might have been a part of a gang, so horrible, horrible thing, as always.
Oh, that's tragic.
Also, I don't know if we have time, but Merkel, and you could talk about Merkel and how it's interesting what she's doing. That's a German, what is she, a chancellor in Germany?
She's
right?
German Chancellor Angela Merkel said she is not going to budge on her policy of accepting refugees, and she said, quote, human dignity shall not be inviolable. And gosh, how often do you use that word? But anyway, that's to say that
Never.
Never broken, never infringed, never dishonored. It's why is she doubling down on this despite the terrorist attacks in her country? This doesn't make any sense to me. But Hillary's doing the same thing here.
And Martin, is this something, we just had the Brexit, and so people are predicting, well, that's, it's a start of things to come. So
Right.
it's interesting that she would do it at this time. You're right.
So anything else other than that?
Let's see, what have I missed? I'm sure I've missed stuff. Well, one thing I want to say, too. If you have not seen Hillary's America, go see that movie.
Yeah.
Go see the movie. You will
It's
not
great.
believe.
Is
If
it?
I'm a
Okay, I'll
political
go see it this
junkie
weekend.
and news junkie, there's stuff in there that I didn't know about or didn't realize. And please, if you're a Hillary fan, you've seen that movie, call in and tell me why you still want to vote for her. Please do that.
So a lot of business news this week. Internet giants Google, Facebook, Amazon are up. Defense contractors, Raytheon, Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, and Boeing are also up. And this one is interesting to me because, military contracts are being sent out, and these companies are going to start delivering on these products that they are being requested and ordered of them. Does this signal that perhaps Donald Trump might be our president and that our country is a little bullish on Donald, and that's why the military industry is growing? The defense contractors are doing business?
Yeah, what are they prepping for?
Exactly.
What do they know maybe that we don't know? And they have to do that. They're businessmen. They're smart.
Right.
They want to get ahead of the game.
I just wonder what it signals. I'm sure the CEO at GNC wonders what it signals. In contrast, health and nutrition giant GNC stock is down. Motorcycle icon Harley Davidson is down. Automobile icon Ford Motor Company stock is down.
That's interesting.
9%. So it's interesting what's gone up, what's gone down. A lot of companies, and the reason there was a lot of news this week is because a lot of companies were posting their second quarter reports.
Yeah.
So refreshingly, though, a move down in gas prices.
Oh,
how much did you pay
Martin,
in gas today? You were telling me.
I gassed up at Quick Trip, my favorite station,
Yes.
$1.99.
Now, which one was
Woo.
that? Where-
It's right there, 48th Street and Baseline, where the borders to
40th
Tempe.
Street. Oh, I know that one. There's a Sonic right by there.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, you knew where the Sonic was, the fast food, yeah.
Yeah, yum. But yeah, crude oil prices going down to $41 a barrel yesterday, down from $51 back on June 8th, which was just 7 short weeks ago. Experts say, however, that the expanding global gas glut, try to say that 10 times fast.
Go for it.
Global gas glut, will not hurt energy giants Exxon, Mobil, and Chevron, which all reported increases in their stocks and earnings over the second quarter.
Muy interesante.
Muy interesante. So that's what's going on. Much more to come right here on the Chips and Salsa Show. George, any news from you before we go to break?
Nope.
I heard your sound effect, that straw. Maybe you're trying to be a gas guzzler
I didn't
with the
notice
straw.
it until when I did it. I was like, oh,
Just in
crap.
case somebody heard that. It wasn't me, it was George.
I was slurping my slurper.
And it was delicious.
It was delicious.
So anyway, stay tuned with us. You kind of get a sense for what we're all about. If this is your first time, welcome. And we'll be talking to you in just a little bit. Stay right here on 1100 KFNX.
Oh, you know what?
Alice, that story makes me sick. I lived in San Diego. I don't like those stories.
I know, it's
San Diego's
always
a nice place.
something.
You're doing a good job, Martin. You do
Oh.
you do this really well.
Oh, you're kind.
He's-
Thank
he's
you.
the
No, I mean,
professional.
you got it down, man.
It's the synergy of the three of us is really great. So yeah, that's what makes it kind of fun.
We can close the last segment. We should get him to play the Trump song.
Behind the
These
scenes.
Latinos gonna
Oh,
vote for
absolutely. In the
Trump.
fourth,
Do I
yeah.
get this
And you
song?
can see
Yes. Okay. So
Martin
let's check
Hi.
your sound.
And Jay talking, so we're all
Can you hear
live
okay?
here. This is behind the scenes.
Can you hear
so right
okay?
now we're on a break. So enjoy our break with us.
And then so the
Yeah, I'm
mic,
gonna
you
have
kind
some
of have
chocolate.
to
I'm gonna have
hug the
some
mic a
chocolate.
little bit. It's all
That's
good.
all mine. Oh, there are Tootsie Rolls.
This is actually my favorite one. Crunchy, creamy, milk, chocolate,
I didn't want to
toffee,
put this in
and
front of
almonds.
you.
This is my favorite chocolate. So if you would like to buy me some chocolate, you can buy me this, and I would be most appreciative. Thank you very much, and
He
thank you
does.
for
He likes
watching.
chocolate. He does like chocolate. It looks like Tim likes chocolate too. You guys
Tim
can
likes
see-
Well, I
chocolate.
do.
Who
I
doesn't
do.
like chocolate?
Hello,
Remember Barry?
Like chocolate.
You can see
Barry
Tim
Young
right
was a
there,
huge
just
chocolate fan.
enjoying
Oh.
chocolate.
Was he?
This is the funeral I went to.
Easy
Do you
go.
remember Blow Out the Phones?
Yeah, I know
Mohan's
he
Blow Out
was
the Phones?
getting ready
Do you remember
for
the guy that used to do all the
coming on.
voices?
Yeah.
Desmond Maurier and Old Whiskers. That's
Yeah.
him.
Oh.
And I did the eulogy. He asked me to do
You
the
did?
eulogy. Yeah, that's the first eulogy I ever had done. That was tough.
And you can see we have Dion. Dion's back here with.
It was
oh,
he
Dion
was a
is
Marine,
Eating chocolate
so they
also.
did. We went to the National Cemetery
They're
and they
having a
did the whole thing.
chocolate party back there.
I wouldn't mind talking about this for a minute, the last segment, just because he was,
Come
part
back
of
over here.
radio.
There's no chocolate in that. Just want you to know.
Does he give you the 10-second thing, or just a 30-second deal? Or
It gives me 2 minute, 1 minute.
okay.
1 minute.
1 minute.
Okay. Un moment.
It's warm in here.
It is.
Why are they filming? That's what I don't understand.
Did you put me louder?
NSA.
NSA.
Oh,
That's what it. I gotta ask them what that's all about. They're filming, I guess. They
that's for the KFNX
So
website.
oh, hey.
Alice,
we're
you're bringing in a
still
second, right?
Having fun here. She can go online and probably see us through that camera.
Sex drive.
If she wants to.
I'm in favor of sex drive.
Or
Yeah,
Sonia
me too.
Salsa.
I'm pro sex drive.
That's why you're.
I know a lot of people are anti-sex drive. I am
Vroom,
pro
Martin.
sex drive.
Normally they tape from up there, but I guess today they're
I'm
doing-
gonna do
using
a
that camera
landscaping
because,
thing first, and then we'll go to you.
They had some issues with that one last couple
I'm
of
gonna introduce you guys, then landscape, and then that.
Okay.
Fun, fun,
Well, we'll get to you. Just be
fun,
patient.
fun, fun. It's okay. Fun, fun, fun.
Oh, that's not
Whoa.
nice.
Gotta have one.
Fun.
Wrap it up.
Oh, I always have. We always
Okay.
have fun.
I picked the one with the fancy hats. Hey,
Yes.
I'm Alice Lara. You're listening to the Chips and Salsa Show. Here's our Friday night edition. You'll find us here every Friday night at 8 p.m. to start your weekend right. And of course, across from me, always right, is Martin Gonzalez.
I think we should call the show the Chips and Chocolate Show because I'm eating chocolate and it's delicious.
It's delicious. Gogo Gonzalez you're having a little bit too much fun over there. Okay, so let's switch over to the alacrán Jorge Ortiz.
El vato del barrio.
Say that again.
El vato del barrio.
Órale,
Hey,
Ortiz.
I have a lot of little. I guess our secret agent sent us some emails from, and I'll bring that up in a little while.
Yeah, we can talk about that later.
Out of the 20,000 emails, he gave me some hot ones here. So
Our good friend Dr. Laura Rapaki.
Yeah.
Right on. Everybody needs to get on his list.
Agent man.
No, he's not the
We're
secret
gonna
agent
put him on
man.
your list.
No, that's somebody else.
That's somebody
our
else.
other
But
friend.
that's okay. You can still use that. So, but first, before we get started, we have a great guest. We have Janet Jackson that's coming up. And if you hear that noise in the background, that's the audience that's talking a little bit too loud, but just to let you know. Okay. I want to tell you about Theos Landscaping. And they are, if you are tired of looking for a landscaper that you can trust.
And I am.
Are you? Good.
Yes.
You need to call him. It's my good friend, Jose Theo. Theos, that's Tello Landscapes. And, I've been telling you guys that we finally got the backyard that we always wanted because we had wanted that for a long time. They did a fantastic job. And recently we added some beautiful pavers. We extended our driveway. They look great. And you can trust Theos because you deal personally with the owner, Jose Theo. I will give you his number. Make sure you have it right after the show, Martin. Theos Landscapes, they can take care of your regular yard maintenance as well as professional hardscape design. So call Jose today for a free estimate. You can call him at 480-309-5182. That's 480-309-5182. Theos Landscapes, 480-309-5182. And we just love having new sponsors. By the way, if you'd like to sponsor our show, we're always looking for sponsors. Give us a call. Go to our Chips and Salsa Show website and do that. And I'm going to have a great guest. I just want to warn you up front. If you'd like to call in and talk to Jana Jackson, who is Republican candidate for Maricopa County Superintendent of Schools, please call into our show and get online. Kevin will take your name and number. Tell him you want the gift certificate too at 602-277-11. I'm saying that wrong. It's 277-5369. 277-5369. And if you're calling from out of town, it's 866-536-1100. Okay. Jana Jackson, welcome to the KFNX Chips and Salsa Show Edition.
Well, thank you. It's an honor to be on your show.
We're so happy to have you on. We've had you on the Saturday edition, and we wanted to introduce you to our listeners for Friday.
Yeah.
And just give a real quick, brief description of what this position, should you win the primary at Maricopa County Superintendent Schools, is responsible for and why you're running.
Well, there are a lot of responsibilities, but I guess the main one, the number one, is being able to assist the school boards, being able to look at our school boards, because when money comes in for our schools, it comes in and it's given to the school boards. And so that sort of builds the foundation of where we're going to actually spend our money. And so that's number one. And then you have a lot of other responsibilities of making sure that our schools are operating the way they should operate, making sure that support is given to our principals and our teachers. So it's a very, very important, it's really, really important to be able to be a part, and then also to make sure that citizens are a part of being able to look at the directions we're going in. To sort of decide where people want, parent choice, where parents want their kids to be.
And you are a teacher.
I'm a teacher.
And you decided to run because
I was in my kitchen complaining. I just bought 4 boxes of borax detergent and 3 gallons of Elmer's glue because my kids needed to perform a science lab. They were going to make slime.
Slime?
I mean, it's really...
And it wasn't for you?
No, I mean, making slime is just great in my classroom. And it was going to be a test, looking at the scientific method, and we were looking at chemical changes, and I didn't have materials. So I had to spend $90 at the grocery store. So I'm in my kitchen complaining. I just spent $90 buying borax detergent and Elmer's glue. I have 150 students. And I said, there's got to be a better system. And I thought about it, prayed about it, and talked with some friends the next day. And then I went to the department. I went to the recorder's office and said, you know what, I'm going to run for superintendent because I can do a better job.
Gotcha. I just want to, you go ahead.
Jana, I just had a quick question because you just mentioned you spent $90, and that's probably not the first time you have done it, nor will it probably be the last time. My question for you is, how many teachers do you think do what you did, and about how much do you think the average teacher spends per year to supply the children with these supplies that wouldn't otherwise be available to them because there's no budget?
I would say probably close to maybe $300 within a year.
Really?
I mean, and that's very low.
Wow.
I mean, have you
Are
ever
you
seen
kidding
the
me?
line?
The average teacher spends $300 in their class.
And you don't have a budget. They don't
There's
say,
no
here's
budget.
$500 for you for
They
the
say,
school.
here's $25. I mean, have you ever noticed the lines in the teacher stores before school starts? I mean, teachers are buying borders, they're buying construction paper, scissors, glue. I mean, this goes from kindergarten all the way through high school. I mean, that's just at the teacher store. Or have you seen the teachers like me going into one of the Walmarts or Targets and saying, I think I want to buy 150 notebooks because right now 150 notebooks will cost me. I can buy them right now at 17 cents. So I go in and I'll buy 150 or maybe 300 notebooks the beginning of the year so I have them. So yes, we spend a lot of money.
We just went to, this is George, we just went to our granddaughter's open house, or not open house, meet the teacher.
Yes.
And she had a whiteboard, and on the whiteboard it says classroom supply wish list. And she put down black dry eraser markers, number 2 pencils, highlighters, facial tissues, or hand sanitizers. And the parents, if they could donate that, she receives that because she.
What helps?
We brought her in a bag of pencils, right? Dion gets stuff at Walmart real kind of cheap sometimes. So we took her a bag of, I guess they were number 2 pencils. They were a big bag of pencils. But I saw, I took a picture of the whiteboard because I said, well, you know,
Yeah.
I do some janitorial service sometimes, and I might have facial tissue that
You
I
know,
can donate.
what really upsets me about this, too, and I was just out collecting signatures for someone who's going to run for the school board in Roosevelt School District. And our taxes go up, and I don't have kids, but I don't mind paying money because I want them to be well educated. But it's a lot of money that goes up, and the school boards directly spend this money, right? They appropriate money. Why don't they
Yes.
appropriate some money for the teachers?
I think for the classrooms, I think that sometimes, well, you have to realize people that run for the school boards are people. They're people. They're not accountants. They're not superintendents. They're not teachers. They're people. And sometimes when you have $1 million budgets, you really need some help. I mean, giving them $1 million and then having someone to say, well, we need to spend money here and put money here and put money here, that does not necessarily mean that you're putting money into the classroom for the teachers.
That just seems
And
like a simple request. And you also were telling me earlier about the way, the positions that are open for school board appointments. Talk about that for a second.
Well, right now we have probably somewhere close to maybe 71 positions in our county that's open. Now, these aren't positions in which people are actually running for an office. These are positions in which people have left and their time is not up, the term's not up. So in the superintendent's office for the county, we will actually appoint people to take those positions. So it's very, very important to know that if you're going to appoint them, you're appointing people that may not have the knowledge or the skills. That's why the office is very, very, should be very, very aware of
That's a
making
big
sure
deal.
that they get the consultants there to help.
I don't want to run out of time. We just have a couple minutes. What is your website and a way to reach you for people that want to help you?
The website is jacksonforcountysuperintendent.com. That's JacksonForCountySuperintendent.com.
Get that right. Yeah,
That's
an
right.
often misspelled word, as you
It
know
is,
that.
yes.
I quickly want to ask you, we have about just like 1 minute left.
Yes.
But depending on who might win this presidential election, you have some opinions about that as far as education?
The presidential election, there's only one person.
Chop.
Just one person, that's all. Yes,
Good.
of course, yes.
Well, we're out of time already. Can you imagine? But Janet Jackson, we're so glad you came in, and go to her Facebook page. Think
Yes.
about her. She's a bright lady, and I'm supporting her, if I can say that.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. That's Janet Jackson from Maricopa County Superintendent of Schools. You're listening to Chips and Salsa Show. We hope you keep listening for more education. Next time it's political on the next segment. Here with George Martin, I'm Alice. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
What are they?
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Nice job.
Well, I wish I had more. I wish I had more.
There's so much to talk
Yeah,
about.
well, I was going to ask you a question. I would have asked, why do you think people should vote for you to do it?
They should vote for me because I am the best qualified.
Okay, you know what?
I'm qualified. I also have diversity. They don't.
I had 30 more seconds.
She used to work for an
He's playing it with a minute to start, and I thought I only had 30 seconds.
What do you mean you have to?
Yeah, that's not working for me. Is it working for you?
Really?
Because that's 30 seconds.
You have to know your target audience.
Oh,
So
okay.
if you live in Arizona in a little place or neighborhood, you go to school and then you teach in the
So
same
you've taught
neighborhood.
all kinds of students.
I taught in every state in the United States for years. Yes.
Oh, that's
I
right. I
taught
remember you
Italy.
telling me that. I
I
remember
taught
you mentioning
Italy
that.
and taught Puerto Rico. So you have to have these cultures. Because if you don't understand the people, then you can't understand how they learn. And it's not just students, it's also the teachers.
Yeah, culture is part of what you need to know when you're teaching. You need to know what culture you're teaching to, because the response that you're going to get for certain things is different than others. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I've always thought teaching is such a noble profession. I've admired people so much that have gone into it. It's a good thing. Oh yeah. Well, okay. Here, let me give you your card.
You can keep the car.
I've got mine.
You got yours?
That is yours.
Oh, let me see your
And
card.
don't be taking my
I
stuff.
gotta bring you in.
Okay, but it's not chocolate. Or is
This
it?
one is chocolate.
Uh-oh. What is this?
Let me see your book.
I didn't get any telephone.
Martin Gonzalez. That's nice background music. You guys always use the right background music.
Huh?
You always use the right
If I had
background
30
music.
seconds, that's why I
Oh,
put it
yeah.
out, but we actually have
It's,
more.
you know, upbeat Latin music.
That's what we did with the radio also too.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, sure.
Okay, so he explained to me that he has 60 seconds on one, 30 seconds on the music. So I was telling him we were used to 30 seconds. That's why I felt like I wasted 30 seconds. But it's all good. It's all good.
I was like, I'm happy.
He's got Power to the People for you coming in, Tim, excuse me.
Yes.
And then he's going to do the Trump song in the last segment.
Latino para Trump.
This Latino's going to vote for Trump.
Vote for Trump. Vote for KFNX. All right, Georgie boy.
Well. So who did the song? Latinos are going to vote for Trump.
I don't know, George. Where did that come from? Alice, do you know?
Didn't hear you.
I can't hear.
Well, it sure would be great if they did, in large numbers.
How are you doing? Are you okay?
Yeah, I can.
Ladies and gentlemen.
You know, do you ever listen to Imus? I never listen to him.
And I'll defend your right to say it too. This
Will
is-
you really?
Welcome back to the Chips and Salsa Show. I'll take a bullet for this show. Maybe not. I'll put some.
Come on, George. Take a bullet.
No,
Take a bullet.
a small bullet.
Okay, at 22 or something.
22. As long as it just goes through and comes out.
22 Swift. There you go.
No
Something.
vital organs, just like.
Yeah, a glancing blow, if you will.
Yeah. So I can just patch it up real quick. Anyway, this is the Chips and Salsa Show. Welcome back to the Chips and Salsa Show. This is Jorge El Alacran, your vato from the barrio. And with me, Alice Solana.
Hello there, getting our guac on tonight quite nicely.
Yes. And the illustrious Mr. Martin.
Martín Chistotzin, el primer comediante de los Aztecas.
And
But I'm illustrious now.
You're illustrious. You change. The voice.
Salubrious.
I still like the voice
Ridiculous.
that never
the
stops.
voice that never.
Voice that never stops.
Yeah, because you do that when I say it. Right on.
Anyway, I'm back from the convention in Ohio, and I brought with me my good friend Tim Horn, which I'll introduce in a second here, and we had Governor Doug Ducey there. He was a delegate, and we had Jan Brewer, ex-Governor Jan Brewer. We had Sheriff Arpaio. He was pretty good. And we had the chairman. We had a lot of delegates there and alternates, and we did Arizona's job out there, which is representing Arizona, and we did it very eloquently and very statement-like.
George, I want to just interject because you did a great job, and I want to thank you for going. You represented us well. And last Saturday's show, our Saturday edition that we do on Central City Radio, that's what we spent the whole Saturday show about. So if you want to go to that podcast, you get a lot more information about your firsthand experience. Had to put a plug in there.
Yeah. And also we have, we're on YouTube right now, live. You can go to go to YouTube, then type in Sonia Salsa S, and you'll watch us live here, just acting silly. And right now, and giving interesting news in the meantime, I want to introduce my friend, Tim Horn. He's the author of Ruling the Elite, Moving Power from the Parties to the People. And he's...
Thank you, Kevin.
I like it.
People.
That's it, man. That is the song.
To the people. Here we go.
All right, should that be the lead in? This is good. All right. Well, George, thank you for the introduction. George and I spent time at the Cleveland convention of the GOP together. We were both in the Arizona delegation. It seemed like day and night for about weeks and weeks, but it was 5 or 6 days. But yeah, I asked George earlier. I said, "Geez, did you miss me this week, George?" Because we spent so much time together last week.
He's all you could talk about, Tim. Yeah.
Well, yeah, there you go. Well, he's a good man, so there you go. I want to say a couple things. First, Janet Jackson, I asked her during the break, I said, we didn't cover really in that segment why people should vote for you. And she said, it's because I'm a diverse teacher. That is, she's taught firsthand all these different cultures in her work around the United States and outside the United States, which I thought was remarkable. And she says here that Maricopa County is such a diverse place of cultures that's the kind of leadership that we need in Maricopa County, and that seems right to me. So Janet Jackson, don't forget that website she gave us, which was JenniferCountySuperintendent.com. Easy. Janet Jackson. Okay. All right, so for me, thank you, George, for having me, and Martin and Alice both. All good to see you all again. I'll just plug my book a little bit because it's a book that you can get on Amazon, but I'm not here to sell the book, but I want you to know the information is out there that can explain what it is that you're actually seeing now and what a clear challenge and choice we have in this election. It's never been clear, and it's never been more important to look and understand what we're facing and then make the right decisions as we move into the election season. I will identify myself as a recovering Democrat. I was a Democrat from the age, 7th grade until I started listening to Ronald Reagan. And he turned me just like he turned Pence and George and so many people. Yeah, Reagan was a Democrat at one time, you might realize, but Reagan didn't turn, I guess maybe Reagan did turn himself, but he turned a lot of people. And Dennis Prager is one.
So you're a recovering Democrat.
Yes, I would say that. Once you're there, you feel the pangs always trying to pull at you.
Doesn't it bother you, usually Democrats who go to Republicans, very few Republicans become Democrat except for Hillary.
Yeah, well, there you go. Mm-hmm. That's interesting, isn't it? So look, the choice that we have right now is really, if you net it out, and this is what you'll see in my book, it's really who's going to lead America and what is America. And if you haven't seen Dinesh D'Souza's movie, we saw it out there. Jordan and I saw it out in Cleveland, along with a lot of other people. And as Alice was saying, you just have to see it. That's all.
With an open mind.
Absolutely.
And you will see.
And some of the facts that are put in there are kind of earth-shaking for people who don't know them. One of them I wrote about in this book, Ruling the Elite, on Amazon. But I wrote about it in my book, which is that in 1924, the National Convention for the Democrats was held in New York City. And conveniently, for the convenience of all attending delegates across the river in New Jersey, the Ku Klux Klan held their national convention. because they are tied at the hip. This is the KKK was a Democratic Party organization. Indeed, Jim Crow laws were Democratic laws in the South. They tried to skirt what the Republicans managed to do in passing the anti-slavery constitutional amendments. So that to have them push it over and have people think today that it's the Republicans that have resisted and pushed back to try to keep people enslaved is just ridiculous. It's the Democrats that did it, and Dinesh D'Souza's movie points out that essentially it's the same way today, but it's the urban plantation instead of the southern plantation. So it's food for thought. Obviously, all the information we get from anywhere, it's up to us to decide. But that's the important part, is getting the information. Don't just, assume that someone else is telling you the truth. Go find out as much information you can, and then I think you'll probably vote for Trump and the other Republicans in the coming election. I'm hoping you do. We all need to consider that. But once again, we all have our own way to vote. That's up to you. So Ruling the Elite, going back to my book. This is a book that many families have bought, and they actually read it to their kids because it talks in plain words, although I did it like if I did my master's thesis. It's all footnoted and has a nice bibliography with it. It's 360 pages long.
That's not very long.
People say it goes pretty fast, but I of course I like it. But a lot of people have said they read it to their kids because it tells them the situation that we're in the United States, that essentially both parties have let us down. Okay, the Democrats have led the way because they've been taken over by socialism. They're pushing their socialist thing, and most people don't realize that until the year 2000, the Democrats were the red party, and the Republicans were the blue party. But it was such a stealthy shift that CBS did to start calling them the blue party and us the red party. Generally speaking, every red party in the world, the leftists are the red parties all over the world. Red flags, red countries, May Day, that's it. Well, they didn't want to be associated with that because, as Norman Thomas said way back when he was running for president in the Communist Party, he said, look, we can't win being communists, so we have to fold ourselves into the Democratic Party, take it over, and then we can take over America. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's today. That's what we're facing. So, yes, that's why things don't fit together. Yes, that's why they wrap themselves in the American flag and then do everything against the Constitution. That's why we have people in the government sworn to follow the Constitution and support its laws that will tell you, I'm trying to stop the Second Amendment and other parts of the Constitution, which, of course, they shouldn't be allowed to even say such things. They're sworn to follow the Constitution while they're in office. It's not like they're a citizen out here talking one way or another. So that's where we are. So hopefully you'll read my book and you'll say, hey, I get it. Not only does it tell how we got here, but it is about what we can do specifically point by point to get ourselves out of it. But the first thing to do this time is vote for Trump.
And now how, if they want to go on your website, do you have a website or some kind of
No, but you can see everything about the book on Amazon. You can even look inside, see the table of contents, leaf through the pages and look at it. It's really nice that way. It's called Look Inside on Amazon. And you can get it on electronic form or book form, paper.
Wow. I like the book. And
Thank you.
I think we're
We still have another minute.
Oh, we still have a minute.
Okay, good.
Oh, and Dion's going to be putting that up on our Facebook site. She's really good
here
at
it is
that.
for the camera.
You can see it.
Ruling the Elite. Okay. Do you guys have any questions right now that you want to ask me since I've been just blabbering away and talking about it?
Real quick, I just want to ask you, I know we don't have that much time, but Hillary Clinton obviously is ruling the elite and continues to fool us. I mean, how do you fight that? What do you tell somebody when they don't believe you? They are big Hillary supporters. What's the first thing you tell them?
Well, look at the facts. If you look at Hillary's history over the last almost 30 years, right? I mean, I've watched her and how it changes, how she continually attacks people that oppose her, attacks them, and then seems to not tell the truth.
Right.
So there you go. Look for the truth.
Okay. Thank you, Tim.
Thank you, George.
And everybody should read that book.
And see the movie.
And see the movie, Hillary's America. We'll be right back. I'm so bad at that.
Well,
closing off.
In fairness, though, he said one, and that's why I was telling you
They do
one.
it so
Yeah.
professionally when they have that last 10 seconds.
Oh yeah.
But I'm still kind of even hanging with. It's so hard.
Good.
Yeah.
And great information, Tim. Wow.
Thanks.
I
Well, we
was-
didn't
Gee,
have
have
much
you been in
time.
talk shows
No.
before?
Yeah, but we covered a lot. But I thought that point about Jan was important. It's not
Yeah,
only
thanks for
reinforcing
bringing it
she's
back.
the one that's running, right?
Right.
So we would love to see her get
That was good.
elected.
I'm glad
Yeah,
you-
thanks for bringing that back in.
My pleasure.
Well, I think it's consistent with what you're talking about in your book.
Right.
And the power to the people, and away from the party. So.
That's true. It's kind of a good segue
yeah,
into
it was a great
your
segue. In
segment.
that was you did a great job, I think.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So we're in the fourth. I bring it in.
Can I do another little quick Deo to give him love so he gets his full?
Yeah. So I'll say
Thing.
welcome back to the Chips and Salsa show, and then you can do your thing. We did.
The gift certificate?
Somebody had called
We can
in,
do one more
somebody-
time. Mention the gift certificate. I can mention the gift certificate.
And that
You want to
caller-
mention Teo, and I can mention the gift certificate.
Perfect.
That caller is, he wants to talk about what?
Oh, we have a caller?
Yeah, we've got Gilbert on the line. I told him he called in the first segment. I said we'll take him in the fourth.
That's good. That's good.
Oh, that's a guy from.
He's our
Martin,
ultimate fan.
If you're going to tell Latinos on air why they should consider voting Republican in this election, what would you tell them? Latino to Latino.
That I would tell them that if you are pro-family and if you are here for the reasons that you left Mexico, then vote for Trump. That's what I would tell them. I would talk about the family, but really, the thing that brought them here is the reason they need to vote for Trump, because he will preserve more of the things
Freedom.
that were not
The
there
freedom.
in the country that they weren't before.
Right. Freedom, capitalism, that's what it's about.
And I would. Got 1 minute? 1 minute. I always revert back to the story of my grandfather who came here a year ago. 100 years ago, for that reason. And now we seem to be reverting back to that system. The Mexico government has always been corrupt, and we're quickly becoming that.
Yes. Yeah.
So, I mean,
We don't want that. Don't bring it here.
my grandfather's just rolling over in his grave, man.
Don't let it be here.
You know?
My father immigrated from the Netherlands, and I was born here. But my grandfather brought my brother over.
Where did you grow up in Arizona?
Ohio.
Ohio.
Born in Texas, raised in Ohio. Live here.
Where in Texas?
In Kingsville. Down the border. That's my water, George. You can have it if you want.
Ever in the history of ever. Headline news, commentary, and entertainment from a decidedly conservative Latino perspective. Hello and welcome back. You're listening to the Friday edition of the Chips and Salsa Show. My name is Martin Gonzalez. In the studio, Alice Lara, George Ortiz. We are now in the fourth segment. Oh my goodness.
Can't believe it.
We need 5 hours.
We do need 5 hours, but Alice, we've only got a few minutes, and you wanted to talk about our dear friend, Mr. Teo.
Well, and I want to give him some more love because we owe him in the commercial actually because I wasn't here last Friday.
Oh.
But please, you need, and I got to give you that number, Martin. If you're tired because you're looking for a good landscaper, you got to call mine, Jose Teo, with Teos Landscapes. That's Tello, and you can trust him. You deal personally with Jose. When you call him, he has so much wonderful experience. And you talk about a family-run business, it is. And he can take care of your regular yard maintenance. He can do professional hardscape design. It's fantastic. You cannot believe all the stuff that he's done. And just, with my big mouth, I've got neighbors all over our neighborhood. Oh yeah, that's really nice. Do you think you can build me a fire pit? Absolutely. He can do whatever you need. So call Jose tonight.
He's
Leave a
good.
message.
I've seen his work.
He really is, isn't he? And he can give you a free estimate. Just call him at 480-309-5182. That's Teos Landscapes, 480-309-5182. And let them know that the Chips and Salsa crew highly recommended him. And I want to take just one more second real quick. The reason I was gone last Friday is because I lost a very good friend, Mike Morano. A lot of you old talk radio listeners from the late 90s. I used to work at KFYI. And if you ever listen to Blow Out the Phones with Bob Mohan, I think one of the greatest talk show hosts here in the Valley, there was a guy who used to call in, and not everybody knew, but he did a bunch of different character voices, from Desmond Mauvais to Old Whiskers. And he passed away on July 22nd. He was a former Marine, a very good friend of mine. And I just want to give him a wonderful tribute. He was a great guy. He and his wife, Joni, we became good friends. And I was fortunate enough, I'm very honored to give the eulogy. And he will be sorely missed, and I feel like, he's here. He's a radio inspiration. Thank you for allowing me to do that.
Oh, absolutely. And another radio inspiration is the restaurant that we love going to more than anything in the world, and that is Rosita's. They have 2 locations, one in Tempe on Hardy and University, and the other location is on Guadalupe and Baseline. And so if you're in that area, be sure to drop in. And if you would like it.
Dobson.
What did I say?
You said Baseline, which is funny because I was on Baseline
what?
today.
I always do that in my head. Thank you for catching that. It's on Guadalupe. And I used to live there in Dobson Ranch. And I lived right off of Dobson and Baseline. But anyway, so Rosita's is on
it's okay to get another
and
mention.
Guadalupe. We're going to mention them again until I get it right, which could take another 10 more minutes. But anyway, so be sure to go there. We ate there. And if you want a $50 gift certificate, give us a call because we still have one left. And there's still some time at 602-277-5369. So, in Chismes y Habladores, one of my favorite segments, Chismes y Habladores, Hillary is still Satan.
Satan?
Satan.
The devil. Diabla.
Beyond that, Catholic Pope Francis collapses in Poland. Did you guys hear about
I
that?
didn't hear about that.
He is upsetting Vatican insiders by announcing that he will be dead by the end of the year.
What? What? Okay, I'm the Catholic around here. I didn't hear that.
Yes.
I saw him trip, but
Yeah, well, he was at a monastery in Poland,
yeah.
and it looked like he tripped, but he has had other health issues.
well, that's why that
And
guy
so
was
he's
so
saying-
close to him.
yeah.
He was like
They
walking-
caught him.
Yeah, he was walking right next to him,
Mm-hmm.
and he caught him as he started collapsing. Yeah, I thought he tripped.
Also in Chismes y Habladores, former Republican mayor of New York, Michael Bloomberg, endorses Hillary Clinton at the DNC. Now that's newsworthy, but the chisme part here is that this billionaire media mogul, Michael Bloomberg, has hired, try to follow this, the daughter of Bill Clinton's mistress.
Ooh.
Which one? Which one?
Yeah, which one, right? The most recent one. Has hired the daughter of Bill Clinton's mistress to report on Hillary's campaign.
Is that the Ever Ready battery girl?
What? Are you kidding me? Are you making that one up, Martin?
I never make this. It's the Chisme y Habladores. You never know. But this segment of Chismes y Habladores es patrocinado por Teleradio. Tu radio sobreviviendo a pesar de la internet. That's our little nod to Espanol.
I'm so impressed when you do that.
So, did you watch Fantasy Island this last week? I'm sorry. The Democratic National Convention. Did you watch? I couldn't believe it. Did you have a special moment or something that you liked, something that you didn't like, Alice?
I tell you what, I watched some of it. I didn't get to watch all of it. I saw the president who, he gave his wonderful speech. I thought, am I watching a Republican up there? But what struck me the most, I saw a little bit of Hillary. And most of the things, whenever she would say something, because the Democrats are very good about projecting things and saying, well, the Republicans do this or Trump did that. And almost after everything, I was saying, like you did that? And what about when you did this? Tim was just talking about being a truth finder. My goodness gracious. And I'm sure, in fact, we put it on our Facebook site, all the Trump tweets that happened in response to what she said. Did you watch?
Did a magnificent job of tweeting out.
I like.
Yeah, baby. Dance that, Martin.
I can't help myself. My hips are rolling. My knees are moving.
Ooh, is that a hula
My
hoop you're
feet
doing? What are you doing over there?
stomping, and I am feeling good.
I like You know what? The one I like. Two things I like. One is when she was talking acceptance speech, and Bill Clinton just kind of dozed off.
He did.
Saw
Didn't he?
Fell asleep.
There's that video of
He fell asleep. He said, well, he's going to get in trouble when he gets
Tim Kaine.
Tim Kaine, the VP. Thanks. Tim Kaine, the VP, at covering him up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What did you think
he
of
like
Tim
put his head
Kaine,
in front.
By the way,
He's like a puppet.
you know, I'm watching. I don't know Tim Kaine. Okay, he's on the national news now for me for the first time. I don't know Tim Kaine, but his demeanor I found off-putting because he sort of has the demeanor of a stand-up comedian. I mean, I was waiting for him to say, "Hey, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Did you hear the one about the honk honk? And be sure to tip your cocktail waitresses and your bartenders. I'll be here all weekend." His personality was so off-putting. I thought, who is this guy?
The other one is when when Bill Clinton was up there talking about her when he first met Hillary, that he was following her around. That's kind of scary. I think he's a
creepy.
That was the beginning of his stalker mode training. I didn't see that. I mean, it was hard to even try to watch that. I thought I'll just catch the highlights on Facebook or something.
Well, if you watched the Democratic National Convention and you watched the Republican National Convention and the Democratic Convention didn't change your mind, you're still firmly fixed to Donald Trump, that's great. And if you watch the Republican and the Democrat and you are still burning for Bernie or hoping for Hillary, that's still great. But I want to talk for just a minute to those of you, less than 2 minutes actually, for those of you who are Trump supporters and yet you watched Hillary's performance last night and afterwards you thought, it caused you to question whether or not you would vote for Donald Trump. You know, Hillary was amazing last night. She should have been, right? She should have been absolutely prepared. Mm-hmm. The color of her hair, the highlights, the style, the makeup never looked better. The outfit, she never looked better.
They always put a good show on.
Yeah.
They do.
She never gave a better speech, and she's not that good at it to begin with. But you really couldn't disagree with what she was saying. And so in some ways, what was happening, unbeknownst and unaware to you, is that you were being hypnotized. Oh. You were being seduced by this woman. And you are now feeling the effects, we'll call it the Hillary hangover, but I'm sure is this: vote for Donald Trump. And I want you to think about this. Elections matter. Your decision matters. Your vote matters. Vote for Donald Trump and don't allow yourself to be seduced. You've heard all of us talk this evening about seeking the truth. Seek the truth. Seek the truth next Friday right here on 1100 KFNX, listening to the Chips and Salsa Show. We want to thank you, our dear listener, so much for being here with us. Alice?
Buenas noches, and yes, check the facts. Don't believe us. Check your own facts.
Exactly.
Watch the movie.
Hillary's America. Absolutely.
And
read the book.
Read the book. Really.
I'm Martin Gonzalez. Thank you so much for listening. We love you, and we'll see you and hear you next Friday at 8 p.m. on 1100 KFNX.
Vote for Janet Jackson.
Good job.
Got it in there. Got it in there.